Okay, so to do this technique, and I have this in laminated form, and the final product on this, which I used in Play Club, is this cute little vase, which is super cute. But it has a hole in the top, and we could obviously put a hole in the bottom. And the technique can be used for any shape. That one is kind of pinched and a little bit tall, but you guys could do this for anything, just as a way of making a nice, easy round. Because with some of your projects, we've been like slicing them in half and like carving it out. So this might be a different alternative method. And so you're going to start with 2 small pinch pot, like half pinch pots, and then we're going to combine the 2 together. And I'll show you how we do that. So I've prepped 2 of these. And the one thing that I think is really helpful, this way you can kind of not worry about that opening getting larger, right? Because that's a big thing of trying to make that opening smaller as you're creating the pinch pot. So you can have it open up to, we'll say, a full circle, like this, like a half moon shape. And then you want to tap it down so you have a good flat. This one I have to do the same. You want them about the same thickness, again, the thickness of your finger, okay? Is a really good gauge. It's about a ½ inch, and you want it all the way around consistently. So from here all the way to here, it is the same thickness, roughly. Now when we start this, you don't have to have it super smooth or paddled because we're going to be working it, and you want the clay super soft. I have pugged clay in the back. That's pretty freshly pugged. I have some in the orange bucket, but then I have some on the table. So if anybody needs any clay and wants to try this today, we may have a few minutes, but this may be next week too. I got myself a nice flat, but I'm just going to even it out a little bit. And you want to make sure that they're the same, this way to this way, so that, you know, one's not completely larger than the other, right? And then it's the same as it ever was, right? Scoring. When you score, you really, the way you attach something is really going slightly aggressive with this tool. You really should be using the metal serrated edge rib, okay? Some people have been using like the pin tool and things like that. It takes a little longer, honestly. It's a little faster to do it this way, and I think a little more thorough, and you really get a good scoring. And then I'm going to just take a little water, dab it on each side, or you can use slip. Okay, and then I'm going to bring them together. One seems a little bit larger than the other, so I'm going to compress it slightly. Now, here's the thing that you really want to be careful with, is we want to squeeze it together like this, just like in the picture I just showed you, but then you want to blend it. And the blend, obviously, we can't do the inside without creating a hole, right? Which we eventually will, so if you want to get in there later, you'll be able to do that. But you could do your finger and just peel it across like this. But I tend to find a tool works better. I like the wood tools because I feel like I can push the clay a little bit more. Or you can use a rubber rib, these orange ones, and these are really nice too, for a larger surface. So this is really important to bring this all together and blend that surface, kind of close that little gap. All the way around. And this will seal it so it stays together. Any of the attachments you guys are making, it could be something on the surface of one of your forms, whatever it is, that score, slip, and blend is what will ensure it, you know, to stay together, to stay on there. As it dries, it has a chance of drying at a different rate and then falling off. So you have to be really careful. Okay. And once we go all the way around with this, smushing it more, like so, then you can go back and paddle and get it just the way you want it. You can sponge a little too, but I think I would paddle first. You want to go gentle with the paddle and try to get that surface just the way you want it. And the paddle will even it out if you have an indent from that joint. Now it's looking kind of like a long thing, so we'll see. And then going all the way around, we could let this dry just a little bit to stiffen up. I could carve into it, and then I could also put a hole here and here. The beauty of this too is that you could put a hole here and here if you wanted. You don't necessarily have to put it on the ends of the pinch pot, if that makes sense, right? So you have a little more flexibility. All right. Any questions on this? All right, cool.